checked on the mobile site.
So their mobile site,
their mobile site,
they're the white. How does that even happen? Because ours is like simultaneous.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they can have two different.
Their mobile site had updated pictures, but the other one doesn't have pictures. It's I guess an old roster.
So the roster we had on the program was the entitled was last year.
Jordan, I think there's no evidence. It's just going to go on the fact that...
Is the same case for the men, or is it different?
No, that's what I was checking. Men are right.
But I have more evidence.
That's just weird.
Did I tell you already what the topic was? No? It's going to be, I'm trying to ban Skittles from
He does have a problem.
The reason why we're having this debate is a certain reason I'll bring up the debate. When I was thinking go around, and you can figure out what it was.
Walter Rapper?
No, the other one. Oh yeah. So I made Jerry trying to pick him up. And Jerry was like, "You can't blame this on me." I go, "You're only Skittles." And so like, this is discriminatory. And I go, "Fine. You know what? Strike two, strike one, strike two." And then I found the third one. And I was like, "All right, strike three. All right, banning Skittles." And he goes, "No, you can't do that." I go, "I'm gonna bring it to roommate court." I saw that. Yeah. The guy jogging right now.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's aiming for him. He definitely just looked back and went back to him.
That would be funny if they actually aimed for
I think he is. Because he's going, dang it.
He's going to blame it on an accident. That's hilarious. They are on our side of the field. First I thought he was
just kind of whipping him.
Yeah.
No, he's aiming.
See, now it's going to be right to him. Yeah, it's going to be right to him because he wasn't even.
Yeah. I wish I could cross the ball right now. That's awesome. Catherine and I definitely had Taco Bell for dinner, and it was the best thing. Like she was like, "What do you want to do for dinner?"
I saw it that dinner.
And because we had to go to Walmart, and so I was like, "That's bittersweet. Taco, that's awesome." And she was like, "Yes," and I was so pumped. So it's gonna be freezing tomorrow morning.
Okay. What if we seriously move the 8? Because the reason we've been doing it at 7 is because of like the less sleep in, but also get away from the heat.
Yeah.
Can we now move it back to later in the day? But still in the morning, you know?
Yeah. Like 9.
That might be a legit question to ask Coach because I feel like Coach is going to say yes because he gets to sit back.
Oh, Clatchar's playing. Clatchar's playing.
I think it's funny that we thought that like nobody was going to be in it. And I've definitely gotten more congratulations.
A lot of people are assuming we all won everything. Like some of the girls on the costume has like congratulated us like we won everything. Like,
Yeah.
Congratulations on the win. I go, okay, thank you. I didn't actually win. I mean, if you count Americans, I won an American. That doesn't really bug me, but like, it's like frustrating. There's 2 guys that beat me weren't in the conference last year.
So my friend's dad like overcame cancer.
Really? Yeah.
Like he started running after. And today
He did the 5K track check.
at 9 a.m. this morning, he started running 60 miles. He's doing an ultra. And he's still Oh, he just passed my off 40.
2/3 done, man. 2/3 done. Does he stop the heat or is it continuous?
Oh yeah, you can probably stop it.
What a boost.
You would die. And he definitely has to have some on it. 'Cause I guarantee peanut butter and jelly, which is my number one condiment, sugar and the protein and the carbs.
I bet he has straight syrup on it.
Oh yeah.
That's what my high school coach said. 'Cause
Yeah.
he did ultra distance runs, but that thing like 60 miles. Like his most is a 50 kilometer, or 50 miles, my bad. He did a 50 mile once, he never want to do it again. So his main thing is 50 kilometer, and he carries all these syrups.
Like goos and
Yeah.
Goo is so gross. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah, my sister loved them. She loved like the minty.
It's like so bad. Now they make like gummies, like the same brand, and it does the same thing. So if I were into that, I'd be popping the gummies. Granted, they sit a little heavier because they're gummies, but I'd much rather have that. Finally get to wear my Nike. I got this thing for $25. Great purchase. I have to change shirts.
Oh yeah. You don't want to wear cross country though.
Yeah. He's gonna.
I'm really not as cold as you guys in my opinion.
I would be freezing.
I am cold, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like in a shivering mode. Like,
Definitely.
you don't want to be in my short shorts?
Look at that. We were wearing them this morning when it was about as cold.
So where do you want me to sit?
So you're
I'm not
nice,
doing
basically.
anything.
Like,
Sit down there and we'll get you enough.
Great.
you want those $7?
I already have it.
You paid those $7. Ask if I can just put your hours in mine, because I'm still on there.
You are on the payroll. I just want to go like run right now. Oh, are you by yourself tonight?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Varsity Field for tonight's contest between the Lander University Bearcats and your University of Alabama Falcons. At this time, we ask you to direct your attention to the field as we welcome tonight's starters, beginning with the visiting Bearcats. The goalkeeper, number 1, Dean Cowjoy. Number 2, George Knight. Number 3, Richard Bryan. Number 5, Ian Folger. Number 8, Jamie North. Number 9, Sam Ross. Number 11, Michael Leach. Number 12, Sinclair Sandy. Number 16, Jordan Skelton. Number 20, Tyler Bolton. and number 23, Connor Belsky. The Bearcats are coached by head coach Lee Squires with assistant coach Tom Russell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome tonight's starters for your Montevallo Falcons. The starting goalkeeper, a freshman from Zielona Góra, Poland, number 30, Robert Kuta. A senior from Subotica, Serbia, number 6, Nikola Klakar. A junior from Franklin, Tennessee, number 7, Joshua Keller. A senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 8, Kevin Francis. A senior from Cologne, Germany, number 9, Oliver Solkowski. A senior from Bogota, Colombia, number 11, Sergio Gonzalez. A sophomore from Brentwood, Tennessee, number 15, Austin Petrovich. A junior from Franklin, Tennessee, number 16, Zach Keller. A senior from Berlin, Germany, number 18, Steven Roca. A senior from Ingolstadt, Germany, number 19, Jeffrey Hessenberger. And finally, a freshman from Vestavia Hills, Alabama, number 23, Patrick Morton. The Falcons are coached by head coach Bruce Dieterle with assistant coach Trey Gregory.
Welcome back to Varsity Field. I'm Alex Tejada for the second part of this doubleheader between Montevallo and Lander. We'll go straight to the starting lineups. For Montevallo, it is senior night. A couple seniors in the starting lineups. A few changes, but in goal, freshman from Zielona Góra, Poland, and two-time Peach Belt Goalkeeper of the Week, Robert Kuta. The defense in the middle is unchanged. Senior Steven Roca joins sophomore Austin Petrovich on the wing. Zach Keller and Nikola Klachar, the Serbian, getting a start today, preferred to Riku Manti. In the midfield, Patrick Morton from Vestavia, Sergio Gonzalez, Josh Keller, and Jeff Hessenberger up top, Kevin Francis and Oliver Silkowski, the freshman striker from Cologne, Germany, who's had a fantastic start, is coupled with the senior from Chicago. For Lander in goal, another Peach Belt Goalkeeper of the Week, another freshman as well from Canberra, Australia, Dean Cowdroy. In the back, George Knight. Richard Bryan, who has 5 assists on the year from defense, will join him. Ian Folger, Jamie North, who also has 5 assists. Sam Lofts is probably the highlight of this lineup. He has 8 goals on the season, including 3 game winners. His strike partner, Michael Leach, has 5 goals on the year. They're joined by Sinclair Sandy, Jordan Skelton, Tyler Bolton, and Connor Felstead, who leads the team with 8 goals. As we get ready to start underway, Francis and Hessenberger in the center of the field. Falcons going from right to left in their yellow and purple jerseys. Lander in the all blue, and we are underway from Varsity Field. First touch goes to the senior Sergio Gonzalez, who spreads it out wide to Silkowski. Hessenberger is preferred up top. Silkowski out left, and Kevin Francis is paired up top with a fellow senior. Jeff Hessenberger from Ingolstadt, Germany, has had a tough time with injury before this season, has had a consistent run of form. We'll probably see Liam Moore also at some point in time. Him and Silkowski have been revelations for Coach Dieterle's side. Fantastic forwards as the ball's headed in the direction of Hessenberger, cleared out by Skelton. Almost breaks for Feldstead, but a defensive header by Petrovich. Sam Lofts. Go to his center back, Folger. A lot of British players in this side, coached by Lee Squires, an Englishman himself. attempted link-up play there. Feldstead cannot find a strike partner, and Klatchar completes the clearance. It bounces over the head of Skelton. He misjudged it. Francis gets on it. Hessenberger, he has a runner in the form of just too far. Almost played it perfectly into the path of Stephen Roca, who was making a run. Patrick Morton is in center defense with Petrovic right now as Roca's moved farther forward. Chance here on the left side. Morton does well to hold off Sinclair Sandy. Sinclair Sandy, a sophomore from London, England. Loose touch by him on that occasion, and they almost spring a run for Kevin Francis, who's alone by himself. Folger is always favorite and play it back to Caldroy. Falcons 10-3 on the season, 4-3 in conference. Lander has an identical record, but is 7-0 in the conference and sit atop the standings. Montevallo in 4th and 5th, trying to break into the top 4, which would see them host a Peach Belt quarterfinal. After today, 2 games left for the men's soccer team. One against Christian Brothers in midweek, before next weekend, the away clash with USC Aiken. Lander trying to establish some possession. They started the season with a dismal 1-3 out of conference record, but since have gone 9-0 and are undefeated in conference play. Gonzalez going farther forward. Defensive header by Skelton. Bounces awkwardly for Knight, but he holds off Francis. Skelton. Skelton from Newcastle, England. Big run by Leach here. He has the ball played through to Feldstead as he fashions an opportunity, and off the cross, off the far post. Had a great effort, turned. Skelton makes the clearance forward. Klatchar with the header, almost falls to Josh Keller. North, Silkovsky plays the ball through. Caldroy thought about coming off his line, but was called off by Bryan, who completes the clearance. Feldstead spreads it wide. Skelton. And Feldstead thought he had scored on that last one. It was very close. Went off the right post. Kuta was beaten. Got some help from the woodwork. Long ball over the top by Skelton to no one in particular. Petrovic across. Will just let it roll out for a goal kick. Opening 5 minutes. And already an opportunity. Dangerous forward in the form of Connor Feldstead, a sophomore from Bedford, England. Petrovic with a long ball. Kevin Francis beaten to the header by Folger. Sinclair Sandy. Bryan. Bolton plays forward. North loses the ball. Silkovsky plays it in with a little bit too much pace for Josh Keller to control. North, exchange of passes with Knight. Tries to release Leach. Petrovic is across the cover. Hessenberger can't bring it down. A little bit more space for North. This time he spreads Leach and has space inside of Klatchar. Plays the ball for the far post, but it beat Feldstead, and Sinclair Sandy will recover. Delivers across, but it's blocked by Zach Keller. Fall for Roca, who's dispossessed by Sinclair Sandy. Offside called on the far side. Sam Lofts, who has 3 game-winning goals on the year, caught offside. Good defensive line. Patrick Morton And Zach Keller moved up to catch the junior from Swindon, England, offside. Montevallo has a very international lineup with 10 different countries being represented. A similar story as well for the Bearcats. Have players from Guatemala, the majority of the lineup from England. They have players from Puerto Rico, Scotland, Germany, and France, as well as the goalkeeper, Dean Cowdroy, from Australia. Brian is taken down by Roca, and a foul and a quick free kick taken. Skelton. George Knight. This time, Leach gets the better of Klachar. Klachar, some nervy moments in the early going for the senior Serb. Defensive header by Folger. Hessenberger tries to take it down. He's dispossessed by Knight. Back to Folger, who has space to spread it to Bryan. So far, the Falcons yet to form any possession or any dangerous forward moves of their own. Looked pretty solid defensively. They were left rocking after that chance hit the post. Felstead was let in through on goal. Had the clearest opportunity of the game so far in the opening 8 minutes. Kuta. Deflection off the header from Gonzalez. Looked for Sokolsky, but it's intercepted by Knight. Heavy touch from Bolton. Took him into Hessenberger. Francis slid in front of North. Pass is intercepted. Looping header from Petrovic. Josh Keller falls to the feet of Bolton, and Lander comes again. Gonzalez puts Folger under pressure. Sends a wide ball, but it's brought down well by Bryan. Sinclair Sandy dispossessed. Sergio Gonzalez, the senior from Colombia. And Sinclair Sandy did fantastically to recover. Sent in a good ball to the feet of Lofts, who was fouled by Zach Keller, and a free kick in Montevallo half. First set piece opportunity for the Bearcats in the opening 10 minutes. Richard Bryan over it. The entire defense consists of underclass Englishmen. They have performed admirably so far this season. Be a tough task for the Falcons. We will probably see Liam Moore and Arad Lev Ari at some point in time be used as an attacking threat. Arad Lev Ari also a defensive midfielder, but a defensive midfielder with a goal-scoring touch. The Israeli has come in and made a huge difference to helping the Falcon midfield create, which was a problem last year. They were a little too defensive, found goals hard to come by. This year it's all about comeback victories. The Falcons have been comeback kings, including 4-0 in overtime matches. 10-3 overall. All of those losses in conference. A very competitive conference. Falcons see themselves in 5th. Defensive header by Folger. It almost broke for Crofts. Zach Keller calmly clears it away and almost sets Francis into space. Hessenberger won the ball first. It was fouled by Sinclair Sandy, who protests, but he was second to the ball. Gonzalez lining up the free kick. Opening 11 minutes. And the team's already not hiding their attacking colors. Certainly willing to attack from the off. No sitting back and defending today. As we approach the final conference games in the season. Today, the final conference home game, the penultimate conference game. Flick header by Hessenberger. Goes straight to Cowdroy, one of the shorter keepers, but has fantastic agility and reach. is an excellent sweeper keeper and does well to claim from corners. Just a freshman as well. This Lander team looks to be a team set up for success. Lee Squires only in his second year, and his assistant coach Tom Rusling. Both of them from Lee's McRae. A very heavy touch that Kevin Francis almost takes advantage of, but Jamie North just about gets away with it. Lovely ball down to the right side for Knight to run onto, and again he slipped behind Klatchar, who tries to close him down. There's an effort. Felstead had a swing at it. Just came across him in a flash. Didn't catch it as well as he would have liked, and it goes wide for a goal kick. But again, the Bearcats threatening every time they go forward and finding the most joy on the right side. Long goal kick. Felstead goes to ground under the challenge of Klatchar. No foul. Kuta with the long clearance. Flick header by Silkovsky. He set up many goals as well as scoring. Was instrumental in the overtime win against St. Leo. Lander passing just becoming disrupted as the Falcons become more into the game. A very counter-attacking squad have looked to attack, but yet to find any chances as of yet. Folger back to his keeper, Cowdroy. Has time, unpressured. Spreads it to Skelton. Montevallo will have to get pressure on this Bearcat side, even if it's in the defensive half. Ball spread out. Great control by Leach. Knight. Back to Bolton. Looks in the direction of Lofts, but it's cut out by Klatchar. Almost falls to Silkowski. Back to Skelton, and the Bearcats will have to try again. Falcons just now sitting deep as Lander has enjoyed possession for the past 5 minutes. We're 15 minutes in. Yet to see a goal, but 2 chances for Felstead. One of them hit the post, and one of them just snatched at, went wide left of Kuta's goal. No chances to note as of the Falcons, but Hessenberger did have a good header from a set piece. Folger with time. Too much time for the Bearcats, and they have shown throughout this season that they can create some fantastic chances. Some strong challenges on the ball already as this looks to be a competitive contest. On the first chilly night of fall, the crowd's starting to get into it also here at Varsity Field. They enjoyed a 4-2 victory. As this ball gets played through in the direction of Felstead, it's cut out well by Petrovic, who tries to launch an attack forward. Plays the ball over the top for Kevin Francis, but that one will carry on out of bounds. Cowdroy, who has such quick distribution as a goalkeeper. Bryan. His progress is impeded fairly. Gonzalez, who hasn't seen much of the ball in the last 5 minutes, needs to link up play between defense and attack if Montevallo are to counterattack as successfully as they have done so far this year. Brian to Skelton. Lander comes again through Sinclair Sandy. Tries to get the better of Keller. Goes down, looks for a foul, nothing doing. The other Keller plays it over the top, his twin brother. Brian cannot keep it in. 17th minute, still scoreless. Hessenberger takes it down under the challenge from Brian. Runs out of space but manages to conjure up a throw. Ball falls to Sandy. Sinclair Sandy, quick feet, wins the throw in. Looks to be one of the biggest dangers, as well as up top Lofts and Felstead. Felstead has had the better support, but Sam Lofts, very similar striker to the Falcons' own Liam Moore. Ball intercepted in a dangerous area. Hessenberger will attack. Sandy gets back, closes him down. He goes to Josh Keller. Josh Keller tries to pick out Sokovsky over the head of the German, but does excellently to bring it down and manages to keep it in. Shackled by Knight. Plays it into Gonzalez. Strong challenge by North. And it pops out to Leach, whose touch is a little too heavy and allows Petrovic to intervene. Brian. Great link-up play between Leach and Sandy is fouled by Josh Keller. Tempted to take a quick free kick, but several yards in front of the spot where the foul occurred. Skelton gets play resuming. Brian. Lofts. Sandy. No offside flag raised, but Felstead couldn't get the control. Both sides were expecting the flag to be raised. None came. North. Jamie North is impeded by Gonzalez. It looked like Jamie North bought that foul. Felstead, this time on the right side, sends a good ball in. Josh Keller has Folger arriving behind him. Folger cannot make clean contact and scoops it over the goal. th minute of the game. Tense contest. First goal will be massive in terms of momentum. Good retreat by Skelton. Gets a header. Bearcats try to launch an attack through Brian down the left wing. Josh Keller watches him. Tried to play a ball in through Sandy, but players were on different pages, and Kutas quickly off his line. Gets a call from Patrick Morton. Patrick Morton, freshman from Vestavia Hills, Alabama, has gotten a couple goals himself this year, has played at right wing, playing center back tonight, interestingly enough. Francis tries to flick it out to Silkovsky. Pass is intercepted by George Knight, freshman from Basingstoke, England. Zach Keller. Good control, sets Kevin Francis away on the left side. High looping cross. Can Silkowski bring it down? Does so on the second occasion. Knight did well to get a challenge, but Klachar passes it back to Petrovic. Petrovic holding off the pressure of Felstead. Klachar, Silkowski. Klachar with a poor pass. Wasteful in possession. Ian Folger. Out to Richard Bryan. Sandy. Lofts, who's come back from his forward position deeper in his own half to receive the ball. That's where Montevallo wants to see him, at least 40 yards from goal. Has 8 goals on the season, tied with the most with Felsted. North and Bryan have 5 assists each on the year, so too much time allowed to any of these Bearcats players, and a quick attack can be launched. Bit of confusion on the side of both teams there as it's humped forward by Hefstenberger. Folger concedes the throw, and the Falcons can pour numbers forward for the first time today. A quarter through the game, no score as of yet. The game that preceded this contest, both teams played in the women's side. Montevallo won 4-2 thanks to a fantastic woman of the match performance by Taylor Gonzalez. Scored 2 goals, had a free kick hit the crossbar, and the rebound put in. And then an absolutely wonderful strike by Val Visaggio ultimately decided the game, was the 3rd goal. Bearcats pulled it back twice, cut the deficit to 1. The Falcons took a 2-goal lead, making it 4-2 late on, and didn't look back from there. Petrovic up from center back, over the ball, wins a free kick in a dangerous area. 6 in the wall. Cowdroy organizing. Referee just making sure that the required 10 yards. 5, and Sandy instead looks for Gonzalez. Wall does its job. Second rebound falls to Petrovic, and the shot is blocked, wins a corner kick. North took one. Quarter kick. Gonzalez in the box. Klachar up from the back, as well as Petrovic. Delivers a low cross. It's cut out by Leach. Hessenberger delivers another one. Defensive header. Almost sets them away through Leach. Leach's pass is intercepted well. Liam Moore has come on for the Falcons, replacing Kevin Francis. Chance now for Felsted to run onto. Morton has to get back. Felsted tried to win a free kick. It gets up rather disgruntled. Kuta. Sokovsky plays it forward, but it's cut out by Folger. Klachar intercepts it. Temperature this game just heating up a bit in the last couple minutes. Folger back to his keeper. Bryan plays a dangerous ball in the center, pops up for North, who knocks it in the air. Morton's backwards header safely enough to Kuta. Good goal kick from Kuta, and the fantastic control of Silkovsky demonstrated yet again. Klachar plays a long ball in the direction of Roca. Roca normally plays as a center back. He's playing in the midfield and has been relatively quiet today. Felsted in space. Has Leach, but instead plays Knight, who's advancing from the back, and Klachar wins the throw-in. Good defensive work by the senior. Quick throw-in to Silkovsky. Klachar's ball over the top in the direction of Liam Moore. Good defensive header by Skelton on this occasion. Lovely turn by North, but turns in to Sergio Gonzalez. Klatchar played it to Silkowski. He was in offside position, but it almost broke for Liam Moore. Knight was glad that his keeper was off his line quickly because Cowdroy came and claimed, or it would have been rather nervy at the back. Liam Moore sometimes doesn't get the service he would like, but is definitely a willing runner and is putting the player under pressure. Hessenberger goes down, and the crowd, as well as the German himself, want a call. None going. Morton. Bad touch by Keller. Bryan. Effort from afar by Lofts. Caught hold of it okay, but was never going to trouble Kuta from that distance. "17 minutes to go in the half. No score as of yet. The best chance of the half fell to Connor Felstead, the leading scorer. Header for Lofts to run on to. Petrovic a little frustrated with himself for conceding the throw-in. Knight up from the back. Lander starting to press. Have players, a lot of players, all of their players now in the attacking half. Cowdroy is almost at midfield. Fantastic touch inside. Plays the ball through, but an offside flag is up as Leach almost sent North in. Referee in fantastic position. One of the hardest jobs. Linesman. As far as getting it correct, those calls are split-second decisions. Referee correct on this occasion. The Montevallo crowd appreciates the call. Kuta. Liam Moore did well to hold off Bryan, who wins it back. But Falcons are going forward with Roca, who tried to play a ball into the path of Hessenberger. It was just cut out. Gonzalez flicks the ball over the top. Silkowski's onside, but Knight with a defensive header. Sandy, who's just really gone out of the game in the last couple minutes, he's been double covered and pressured. Josh Keller on this occasion. Bolton, haven't seen much of him either. Leach trying to force something on his own. Bolton with a heavy touch, intercepted by Roca. Roca, who got himself a goal last game, looking to improve on that. In a farther forward position than his normal center back. Has started every game in the last couple years. Is a transfer from Jacksonville University. Redshirted his first year at Montevallo, but has played 3 years since. Was actually part of senior night last year, but decided to return. Is doing graduate work. So a talented man on and off the field. The man from Berlin, Germany, Steven Roca, has been an absolute rock at the back and has contributed goals as well. Be a massive loss for the Falcons to replace, but he has hopefully at least a couple more games to go and will be instrumental in the Peach Belt tournament. He would love to get a goal, however, tonight on senior night in front of the Falcon faithful at Varsity Field. Sinclair Sandy with the bunch of space. Lays it off to Felstead, tries to return the favor. Intercepted by Morton, who's just taking up a more advanced position. Pass is cut out by Bolton. Leach almost has a ball. Lofts leaves it for Felstead, who has an effort and has the first goal. A bullet from Felstead. It just fell into his paths. Lofts did well to let it roll onto him, and Felstead just lashed it. '31st minute. Connor Felstead with his 9th goal of the season gives the conference leaders the 1-0 advantage. See the response from Bruce Dieterle's side, as well as if he makes any substitutions. Connor Felstead, one of the most dangerous attackers in the conference, had a number of chances earlier in this game, hit the post, dragged one wide left. This time makes no mistake, buries it in the back of the net. Cut out by Klatchard, tries to play a ball. Roca wins it with his header, tries to run onto his own pass, does so, holds off Bryan, but who recovers fantastically and plays it back to Caldroy. Took 31 minutes for the first goal to happen. Doesn't look like it'll be a low-scoring affair, but maybe this will just break the game open even more. Space starting to open up on that side. North trying to work an opportunity. Lofts, Felstead, Leach, tight angle, sends it into the side netting. Kuta had it covered. Falcons were almost caught with another one. Lander doing a good job of using the space. Right now the Bearcats in the ascendancy. Falcons will have to weather this storm and look for a counterattacking chance of their own. This is certainly not a team that is afraid when they go down. Mentioned they have came back on numerous occasions, and a one-goal deficit is not the biggest they have come back from. They've also come back from 2 down, not just to tie, but to win. Leach plays it inside to Giannis Gachim, sophomore from Montpellier, who's come into the game. You could spot him with the number 4 jersey and the ponytail, and there was a chance. Petrovic's deflection helped it on its way, but that would have been back of the net. A great turn by North, fired it in on goal, and Petrovic's timely intervention kept it from being 2-0. Gachim, who's just now come into the game, more of a defensive center mid. Surprised we haven't yet seen Del Hamel, his fellow Frenchman and fellow sophomore. Hugo Del Hamel with 7 assists, 3 goals on the year. Skelton. Falcons need to put Lander under pressure because so far they have been stringing passes together rather well. Little tug of the shirt by Lofts, not called. Loose touch there by Bryan. Roca, ball over the top for Silkovsky. He'll do well to take it down. He does. Can he get the better of the defender? Cuts inside, has a chance. Turned aside by Caldroy. It'll fall for Hessenberger. Takes a deflection and almost looped up over the keeper, who judged the flight of the ball well. Would have been an important equalizer. Fantastic control by Silkovsky. Cut on the inside of George Knight, had to rip it goal, and Caldroy did well to get a hand on it, but almost pushed it right in front of the advancing Hessenberger. Morton holds off Felstead to get the defensive header. Gachim. Heavy touch by Leach. Gachim just gets the ball in front of Josh Keller. Defensive run from Bryan, who is fouled by Zach Keller. Crowd not happy with it. Keller just grabbed an arm. It's just enough contact for him to take a tumble, and they have a free kick in a dangerous area. Richard Bryan been everywhere on the field in this first half for the Bearcats. We approach the final 10 minutes of the half. The 36th minute of the game. First goal came on 31 through Felstead. Third time was the charm for the Strikers. The ball almost whizzed in. Number 3 almost found the charm. Bryan delivered it in. It had a lot of pace. Any intervention by Bearcat would have put it in the back of the net. As it is, the Falcons are led off, and Kuta will be glad to see that whiz by his goal. Only one substitute so far, Liam Moore, who is yet to get any sustainable service. Has a very tall back line to work with. Liam Moore, one of the speediest players on this side, however. And him and Silkovsky have formed a great partnership. Here they are on the ball right now. Good ball down the channel for Liam Moore. He's also a fantastic crosser of the ball. Just not something you say about a lot of center strikers. Throw was too far in front of him. This time him and Silkowski not on the same page. Petrovic cuts inside. It's just pulled by Yanis Gacim, who concedes the free kick in a potentially dangerous area. Petrovic is over it. Falcons loading the box. They have threats on set pieces in the form of Sergio Gonzalez and Steven Roca, who would love to get ahead on the ball, as well as Jeff Hessenberger. Good delivery from Petrovic, a teasing cross, just too high for Roca and out for a goal kick. Definite chill starting to set in at Varsity Field. Definitely a warm atmosphere down on the field. Things starting to get a little heated at some points. So far, the refs done well to keep the game under control. And a very high foot there, just speaking of that, by Bolton. Good sportsmanship, however, to help up Josh Keller, diffuses the situation, and that's what you want to see from conference rivals, respecting each other. Both teams, fantastic players on either side. Petrovic gives the signal. And again, the players are up. Can they benefit from this set piece? Hessenberger with the lovely flick. Almost fell to Gonzalez, but Caldroy read it superbly. Interesting enough, Caldroy is also in a yellow jersey, and the Falcons are wearing their gold uniforms. I'm not sure what referee allowed that. In the direction of Lofts. Morton gave a defensive header. Leach cuts inside. Gacim gets him out of danger and tries to spread it out. North, who's taken up a spot on this left side since Sinclair Sandy has been replaced by Gacim. Leach. Here's Knight, who's been afforded a lot of space, but now they're starting to get a better hand on him, and Klatchar. Roca. Liam Moore tries to work the ball onto his left foot. Nice pass with the outside of the right foot. Gonzalez spreads it wide to Zach Keller. Ollie Silkowski. Keller plays the ball, cut out by Folger. High in the air, brought down by Keller. Plays it off of North, gets a second bite at it. Forward from the direction of Roca, defensive header by Skelton, had to be on his toes. Looked like a foul on Silkowski, nothing doing. And a foul goes the way of Lander. Gacim was fouled. An interesting hairstyle, to say the least, from the sophomore from Montpellier. We've yet to see Hugo Delhamel, the sophomore from Rennes, France. 7 assists on the season. Lone goal came from Felsted, his 9th of the year. Gacim to Leach. Overlapping run being made by Knight. Leach thinks he wants a corner kick, but it goes out for goal kick. 5 to go in the half. The response has been admirable from the Falcons, but they're yet to carve out any dangerous chances as of yet. This team plays as a counterattacking squad. You would imagine a lot of their comebacks are due to the fact that space opens up in the second half as there's some weary legs. Fatigue starts to set in. It's a cold night, perhaps lapse of concentration. Klatchar with the clearance under pressure by Lofts, who also has a goal-scoring threat. He has 8 on the year, including 3 game winners. Loose pass, however, by the center back Folger. Recovered well by Bolton, who's done well to sit right in front of that defense. Bailed him out on a number of occasions and has cut out Falcons' attacks. Bryan plays it out wide to North. Tries to play it in the path of Felsted, who was just caught on his heels. Petrovic, however, is alert to clear it and almost passes it to Roca on the break. Can't keep it in as there would have been a chance through. The senior just giving a thumbs up, applauding the idea by the sophomore Austin Petrovic. His first year at Montevallo, slotted into the back line. Looks like he's been playing there about as long as Roca. However, Roca is a fantastic player who will be missed. Not easy to replace. Petrovic will be the first to tell you that as well. A lot of admiration on this team for Steven Roca, who has shown himself and proven his abilities on numerous occasions. Started every contest in the last couple years. Just has a motor that never stops running. Goes up and down the field on numerous occasions. He had an overtime winning assist to Silkovsky earlier in the year against UAH. North across to take the corner kick. Has 5 assists on the year. Is an excellent set piece taker. Not much height in the box, however. And an illegal push there. Called on Skelton. Just gained some leverage. '43rd minute. Bearcats lead by the load goal from Felsted in the 31st minute. Only one substitute apiece. For the most part, we've seen the starting lineups stay out for the whole time. Yanis Gatchim has come on for the Bearcats, and the Falcons have brought on Liam Moore up top for Kevin Francis. Patrick Morton, who's done a solid job as center back. Roca's been moved farther forward. Keller takes it down on his chest and has a good run. Silkovsky, lovely footwork. Pass, however, is not on the same level. Lofts. North. Pass is deflected, but sends it back over the top for Lofts, who has space to run into. Lofts cuts inside of Petrovic, who does well to shield him out of bounds for a goal kick. Falcons will not feel too dismayed going in a goal down. Could have deserved an equalizer. A great shot from Silkovsky was turned aside by Cowdroy. Fell to Hessenberger, whose shot was blocked and allowed Cowdroy to recover, and a foul on Gonzalez by Folger. Last chance of the half, perhaps, for the home side. Petrovic up far to take it. Awkward header there. It almost falls for an interesting side volley attempt from Hessenberger. Zach Keller. Liam Moore plays the ball. Hessenberger tries to link up with Zach Keller. Cowdroy reads it off his line as we approach the final 60 seconds. Important team talk for Coach Dieterle at halftime. Falcons' last conference matchup is against USC Aiken, who are 1-5 in the conference, 2-11 overall. A game which they will be heavily favored, but a match against USC Aiken could mean nothing as far as the conference standings if they do not get a positive result here tonight against Lander, who topped the conference. It's a huge ask. Falcons lost 5-1 in the opening round of the Peach Belt Conference tournament last year, the quarterfinals, on the road at Flagler. Finished the season on 6 wins. This year they're already in double digits. And you would think at least 1 to 2 conference victories would be what Coach Dieterle is expecting, if not a Peach Belt title. His team dares to dream. They're certainly overtime winners, but they'll have to come back from behind again in the second half, as that's it for the first half. 1-0. Felsted's goal separates the sides at the break. 31st minute. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the second half from Varsity Field on senior night at the University of Montevallo.
Participants, please make your way to the field. Again, Morgan Daniels, Walter Price, and Austin Burwell. Make your way to the field. Same format as our semifinal round for the first 3 rounds. Each individual will get to take 3 shots at the goal. If only one person scores a goal in those 3 rounds, congratulations, you're winning the flat screen TV. If more than one individual scores a goal in those 3 rounds, then we move on to a shootout round between the 2 individuals who scored. We will start in order. Morgan Daniels up first. Walker Price, your second. Austin Burwell, your third. Are we ready? Morgan Daniels, first shot. Not quite there. Walter Price, first round. Again, off the mark, Austin Burwell, your first shot. The pressure is on. The pressure is on. Austin Burwell, first shot. You can sit the next 2 out. Meanwhile, Morgan Daniels and Walter Price, you're up again to try to advance. Not there for Morgan. Walter, your second chance. Just off the mark. Now the pressure is really building with Morgan Daniels. Your final shot to stay in the competition. On the mark, just not far enough. Walter Price, this is it. If you miss it, Austin Burwell's going home with a 40-inch flat screen TV. Congratulations, Austin Burwell, 40-inch flat screen TV on senior night. Thank you all for playing throughout the year. And just so everyone knows, it's not your only chance to win a flat screen TV this month or early next month. If you come to volleyball on November 4th, one last chance in the serving contest to make your appearance in the championship round on senior day, November 5th. One last chance for a flat screen TV this fall. But again, congratulations, Austin Burwell, the winner of our season-long halftime shootout. University of Mount Olive would like to thank its corporate partners, Booster Digital, Full Moon Barbecue, Candlewood Suites in Alabaster, Trustmark Bank, Holiday Inn Express in Pella, Coca-Cola, Shelby County, Huddle House, University Inn and Suites, Bob Butterworth, State Farm Insurance, BSN Sports, Piggly Wiggly, Steak and Shake, College Cable, Remac Health, Pizza Hut, Main Street Tavern, Jack's, Renaissance Bank, Dick's Sporting Goods, and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama. Thank you for supporting the Falcons. The Falcon Scholars in Action program is a program on campus that allows students to gain valuable professional skills by serving their community in nonprofit Shelby County agencies. Students completing the program are provided with a modest monthly financial stipend, as well as an honors core to graduation. The program application and more information can be accessed through the Office of Service Learning and Community Engagement website at www.legacy.montevallo.edu/OSL or by emailing falconscholars@montevallo.edu. What up, dude? Oh, gosh. What up, dog? Yeah, man, what's the video? I run 56 Arkansas 3.
Really?
523 rushing yards. Arkansas must not even show up. Must not even have 11 guys on the field.
Yeah.
What did they? What he said something about like you're gonna say something.
He was like, say to his face. You're gonna say something, say to his face.
Like did you hear the like when he got into it with Kevin? Well, the problem is he didn't really get into it because Kevin didn't hear the fact that he was talking to him.
Yeah.
But Kevin was like number two, like
Well, yeah, no,
so the guy.
because when Kevin came up, we told him about it, and
Yeah.
Kevin was like, I got this.
The funny part though is the guy Kevin was like number two. And so the guy goes, hey, knock it out. The lad's just trying to play some football. And he was like, stop it. And they goes, oh no, this could escalate quickly. And I don't think Kevin actually heard us. Yeah. It's like, so like Kevin didn't hear him say the last part because if he'd heard it, he would have been like, would have been on like. But the funniest part was, did you see what he did right off the bat? When they had like 30 seconds a minute in, they had a shot. Like it looked like it was going in from here too, but it was like right off us. And so he turns around immediately. He's like, oh. And everybody else is like, dude, what are you doing? So it's like,
No, when
like,
they did
how did he
score,
miss it?
when they did score, he was sitting right there at the corner, and he looked over at all of us, and he went,
Yeah. The funny part though too is he was like, after he did that, he looked up and he was like, it's like trying to be nice. He's like, it's too early, it's too early. But he was the guy 30 seconds in. And it's like,
I really want us to score.
yeah, I know.
And him, like, I'm interested to see what they wanted to kick for the shot. Really watched a thing where I can record.
Yeah, we're just recording. Somebody been like right in front of him though, because he got his reaction turned around. Everybody else is like, dude, what are you doing? He turns back around and he's like, that's hilarious. Is it? Oh, really?
Playing British, the whole team's British.
Yeah. Yeah. Song. It was probably made in like 1990.
Yeah, it's like the oldest song
Nobody's
in the
ever
whole
like.
world.
Now it's like everybody's like, hey, that's a good. Yeah.
But it's a remix.
Yeah, it's a remix of the original.
I tried to Shazam it, but my phone was like, sorry.
Yeah, just like Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air remix.
Have a good night.
Like Hannah does know that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was an actual TV show.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably.
I mean, you can't assume that anymore though.
I think she wanted like to know what the remix was.
Yeah, how old were you when Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? You remember like?
I watched it like on Nick at Night.
Yeah,
So it was already
it's already
filmed.
been, yeah.
Because I remember when it was like actually like on a Friday night or whatever night we could air and run it at prime time.
Nick at Night.
met your mother. It's on date night now.
And friends.
Yeah, friends.
Yeah.
That I don't mind though. I'm a really big Friends fan.
I think you have to like Friends or Seinfeld. I like Seinfeld.
Oh, I like Seinfeld. I watch with my dad sometimes. I didn't answer. That doesn't mean you are or you're not. I don't pick favorites. I don't pick favorites. I don't pick favorites. You're my favorite girl. Hold on, I forgot which one's zoom in. Oh, there it is. And zoom out. Okay, got it. Who'd they start over Liam?
What's that?
Who'd they start over? But Kevin's still on the field.
He goes in lineup. He's not typically in lineup. He's not.
He was playing over Reed Romantic.
He's a defender.
Now they're just having more of a striker.
Austin Slade.
Because Liam's in now.
Yeah. But it was, wait, is Oliver still on? It was Jeff Hessenberger.
Yeah, it was
Jeff's
Jeff.
yeah.
It was Jeff. He was on. Because he hasn't been starting.
Yeah, but Jeff's still in too.
Where is he?
He's right there. Center field. Oh, that's Sergio.
Yeah, that's Sergio. Jeff's not in anymore. Welcome back to Varsity Field for the start of the second half. Montevallo trail a 1-0 as they get it underway. Gatchin on the ball, passes it back to Knight. Falcons enjoyed a lot of spells of positive possession, but were yet to create any cutting-edge chances. Looking to ask more questions here in the second half, but Landers start on the front foot as they did in the first half. Had multiple chances from Felstead. One hit the post. One of them was dragged wide before the third effort. A nice dummy move from Lofts, his fellow strike partner, left it for him, and the half volley was deposited into the top left corner. Montevallo on the attack now for the first time. Silkowski letting Morton come up to do his trademark long throw. This is the first time we've seen it. Number of Falcons in the box. Sergio Gonzalez, Kevin Francis that can get ahead on this. Roca also in the box. What a moment it would be for one of the seniors to get a big goal. This is in the direction of Gonzalez. It'll break from Moore. His shot's blocked off by Bolton, and the clearance completed by North. Klatchar up is over Lofts for the header. Morton wins the throw in off of Leach. Michael Leach, a sophomore from Wigan, England, sat in front of the defender and disrupted a lot of Montevallo attacks. They will have to be more creative here. And he goes down in the box. Penalty kick awarded. It was Stephen Roca, the man fouled in the box. He was taken down, and Oliver Silkowski, who missed a penalty kick earlier in the year, up to take it to redeem himself at the same end that he missed it. He went to the left that time. Let's see if he does the same. Goes to the other side and scores. Equalizer for Montevallo early on. 47th minute, less than 2 in the second half, and Oliver Silkowski levels the scores from the spot. It's a great run from Roca. He was fouled one-on-one with the goal. And Oliver Silkowski steps up and has nerves of steel. Cool as you like. Goes to his right this time. Cowdroy guessed right, but couldn't keep it out with the pace on the ball. Striker from Cologne, Germany, adding to his already impressive goal tally in his first season at Montevallo. Level at 1-1. Everything to play for now. That was certainly the spark this second half needed. We had an entertaining first half. Look for more of the same here. Bryan. Folger. Everything to play for. Bryan. Falcons a very resilient team, not afraid of playing down, and yet again the case coming from behind. 4-0 in overtime if this needs to go. Almost an immediate response, however. They tried to take the goal back. Bryan's cross is cut out by Petrovic for a corner. Lofts and North were lurking in the box. Less than 2 minutes into the half, and the Falcons find themselves level. Low corner kick. Francis with a defensive header. The half volley's mishit, but the header looping from Folger. Leach didn't catch all of it, but the deflection almost helped the center back, Ian Folger, junior from Haverhill, England. Gotcham with the header. Liam Moore just getting his shirt tugged by Knight. Referee lets play continue. Leach trying to work a yard of space. Gonzalez closes him down and does well. Gotcham gets the return ball. Lofts tries to control it. He's crowded out. Klatchar's clearance forward. And a foul on Bolton. Free kick for the Bearcats. Almost got an instant response. They have responded since the goal. Montevallo glad to be level. And a counterattacking squad will love the fact that Lander will pour men forward. They can certainly catch them on the break, and the space will open up, and that's Montevallo's perfect time to attack. They score a lot of late goals, and that is not a coincidence, as Silkowski goes down and the referee says the player won the ball. Bryan. Felstead, and a clean challenge by Patrick Morton. As if this game needed the intensity raised anymore. Yanis Gacim. Header by Klatchar. Roca with his first touch of the second half, looking to set things alight. Good ball. Played through for Liam Moore. Moore in space. Is eventually closed down by Skelton. A ball in the middle for the arriving Silkowski. Defensive header by Folger. But Josh Keller feeds it to Moore as the Falcons stay on the front foot. Kevin Francis, looping cross, falls between Silkowski and Roca. Picked up by Gonzalez. Tries to work a yard of space. Thought he had won a corner, but a goal kick for the visitors. End-to-end stuff in the opening 5 minutes of the second half. 1-1. Montevallo levels the scoring after Stephen Roca was fouled in the box. Oliver Silkowski stepped up from the same end he had missed against Shorter and levels it up. Honors even. Defensive header by Gonzalez. Cleared by Klatchar. Moore is onside. Flicks it on for Roca to run onto, who feeds a great ball for Moore, who catches it, and it's just tipped over. Wasn't tipped over. The goalkeeper didn't have to make an intervention. It was the top of the crossbar. Liam Moore had to lift his foot very high, caught it at a very awkward angle. Would have been a superb goal. Was just rising the whole time. Did magnificently to even make contact, let alone steer it on goal, and almost put it in. Cowdroy is a relieved man in goal. Strong challenge on Bryan by Roca. Almost disrupts the back line. Gotcham on the ball. Bryan forward for Felstead. Can't link up with the striker, and it's cleared by Zach Keller. Ian Folger shields the ball out of bounds. Felstead back in his own half. Gatcham holds off the challenge from Francis. Referee plays advantage. Good ball down the left flank for North. North has numbers arriving for Lofts. Way too close to the goalkeeper. Cross was in between a cross and a shot. Kuta's long punt. Great control by Folger. Definite height disadvantage there. Liam Moore did well, though, to force Folger into a bad pass. Knight's defensive header. Josh Keller controlled on the chest. Folger gets help from his defender, Brian, who hooks it away, but the Falcons are still coming. Silkovsky wins the ball in front of Folger, who barges into him, and they win a free kick in a dangerous area from about 25 yards out. Silkovsky has been a fantastic free kick taker as well. Probably likes his odds on this one. I'm sure some seniors will have some input, though, as well. Opening 8 minutes and a fantastic start to the second half. Teams in the top side of the standings. Silkovsky lining it up on the right foot. 4 men in the wall. See if he can get it up and down. Gets it up. Almost off the top of the crossbar yet again. Falcons attacking with guns blazing here in the second half. It's the second chance in the last 4 minutes that has hit the top of the crossbar. A half volley from Liam Moore. And this free kick just a little too far out. A big ask to get it up and down from that region of the field. You would want that to be about 30 yards out for that to nestle in the back corner. And a foul committed there by Gonzalez. Crowd doesn't agree with it, but Felstead was pushed from behind. Quick, short free kick taken. Skelton. Long ball for Leach to chase, who hasn't seen as much of the ball here in this second half. Has been closed off well by Klatchar, who started the game rather shakily, has grown into it. Shored things up at the back. Not many chances here in the second half for Lander. Scuffed clearance. Petrovic with a strong header, but it falls to Knight. Skelton. Leach has players on either side of him, tries to play it through and just pick the wrong option. He had Gatcham and Feldstead on one side, decided to go towards Lofts. It was not enough space between him and Kuta, who was quick off his line. Long punt by the pole. Liam Moore just beat to the ball by Knight. Strong challenge. Sliding challenge by Gonzalez to win it back. Senior from Bogota, Colombia. He's enjoyed a fine season. Love to have a win to end his career at Varsity Field. Bolton. Now to the Frenchman, Gatcham. Tyler Bolton. Leach. Gatcham spreads it wide and is fouled. Late challenge by Kevin Francis, and that's not the first. Referee would like a quick word. He'll be lucky to avoid a yellow card, but it looks like this is his last warning by the referee. Brian over the ball. Not too much height in this side. We'll see if Brian goes for goal. A two-man wall. Decides to flick it. A clever effort in the direction of Folger, who got well high in the air to hit it. But Morton put him off just enough for the header not to be accurate. Wide of the goal, Kuta to claim the ball, and the Falcons will look to start again. Very even after a Montevallo early period of dominance in the opening 10 minutes. A back and forth contest, which has opened up even more so in the second half. Petrovic Hasty clearance by Kuta. Eventually controlled by Moore. The Falcons do well to get out of that jam. Forward to Petrovic. Leach touches it back to Knight. Defender has space and time. Tries to play a long ball. And an offside flag is up on Felstead. Great line by Klatchar, Morton, and Petrovic to catch him off. Roka, Silkowski, and Josh Keller forward, as well as Leo Moore and Kevin Francis. Plays the ball to Roka, who's afforded some space and sends a high ball in the direction of Leo Moore, who meets it with his head. And again, top of the crossbar. Substitute for the away side. Felstead, the goal scorer, is the man making way. Being replaced by number 6, Alex Garner, a junior from Grimsby, England, of course. This team is made up mostly of British players, mostly due to their British coach, Lee Squires. In his second year after graduating from Lees McRae, was an accomplished player himself, graduating in 2009. Another offsides flag is up, this time on the new man, Garner. Good flight on the free kick. Nice close control by Silkowski. Plays it into Roka. Not too sure about that last touch. 15 minutes played in the second half. Anyone's game. 1-1. 31st minute goal from Lander by Felstead. 47th minute goal from the spot by Silkowski. Equalizer that has us tied up. 30 minutes to decide the game, if not 2 periods. 2 10-minute overtime periods. Golden goal in effect. Montevallo 4-0 in overtime so far this year. Lander undefeated, so something would have to give, but we do have tons of time left. Offside on this occasion. Jamie North, the junior, again, caught on the wrong side of the Montevallo defense. He's held a very tight line and has moved up. Defensive header by Skelton. Gatcham has a little bit of space and links up, but it's intercepted by Petrovic. Petrovic and Morton look in sync. Not the usual back line, but they formed a partnership in the last couple games. Looks very stout at the back. And after a nervy opening has kept them at bay. Liam Moore just ran across his body, wasn't able to bring it into his stride. Appreciates the pass from Roka, who, playing farther forward, has allowed him to pull the strings even more. North went to the ground rather easily. In fairness, he didn't ask it for anything. Sam Lofts' shot is deflected, takes it into Kuta, who does well to read the ball. Gatcham, smaller man in that occasion, but wins the header over Gonzalez, but it falls to Kevin Francis. Silkowski has men on either side, decides to pick out Liam Moore. Has options in the box, sends a high ball to be attacked by Roka. Just got under the header and it was over the bar. Fantastic attempt, read the flight of the ball, and it was a teasing cross from Liam Moore. We've seen several occasions where he sent in a fantastic assist. This time not as pinpoint perfect as he might have liked. Roca did well to get up to it and fashioned a chance. Montevallo forcing the opportunities though, asking the better questions. Early Lander period of dominance has not only been responded by Montevallo, but a period of dominance on their own as referee stops a Montevallo through ball, accidentally of course, at least we hope. North has options in the form of Loft. Lofts tries to turn, cuts inside. Lovely close control, he's put off there by Morton. Feeds the ball in, there's a man arriving at the back post, and he scores. Michael Leach regains the advantage for the visitors. Lander strike on 63. And the advantage is regained for the conference leaders, who was just unmarked at that back post. They did a good job of leaving it for him, and a despairing lunge on the line by Petrovic was not enough to keep it out of the goal. Everything to do all over again for the Falcons. You would imagine Coach Dieterle, who is yet to play his hand at subs in this second half, would be forced into a change sooner rather than later. And the fans have a response. Let's see if the Falcons can respond. Certainly been the better of the two sides. Morton. And no foul there on Lofts, who is involved in a little bit of afters with Patrick Morton. Had a strong challenge. Not too much in it. Gatcham. Knight. Ball over the top from Puria Masuma Far. Too much for Richard Bryan. The senior from Stuttgart, Germany, has come on the game for the away side. Has joined Gatcham at the defensive midfield position, just sitting in front of the back line, trying to shore up the defense and prevent any Montevallo attacks, of which there were many at the beginning of the second half. Momentum has slightly shifted in the favor of the Bearcats ever since that goal went in. Gatcham. Far. Gatcham again. Plays it out wide for North, who is offside. "25 minutes to play here at Varsity Field. Defensive header by Skelton. Gonzalez responded, but it falls to Far. Strong challenge by Gonzalez, skipped away by Masumi Far. Spreads it out to North. North plays a ball that's interesting, but it had too much pace on it for Leach on this occasion. Kuta off his line, well to read. Strong punt to try to set the Falcons away immediately. Defensive header by Ian Folger. George Knight. And a foul on Giannis Gatcham. Free kick at midfield. Players moving forward as Skelton's over the ball. Looks like a push in the back on Klachar, nothing called. Garner got away with one there, hasn't been very influential since coming on. Was smart in leaving the ball for the arriving Leach on the goal. Heavy touch there by Hessenberger, who's come onto the game to try to pull one back. Francis, another late challenge, and this surely is the yellow card. And it's the first of the game for both sides. Just a late foot being left in by Kevin Francis. He's kind of been off the pace today. Commits a foul on Folger, who stayed down. Looks to be okay, however, as there's a Falcon down on the far side. It's Zach Keller who's holding his right knee. And the trainer's out quickly to attend. Players get a momentary breather. Not sure if that was from a collision or off the ball challenge. Very important player in this lineup. The junior from Franklin, Tennessee, whose twin brother also on the team. Him and Ollie Silkowski around their teammate. Quarter of the game remaining. 2-1. Scoring summary in the 31st minute. Felstead opened the scoring. Montevallo were awarded a penalty after Steven Rocco was taken down in the box, which was dispatched by Oliver Silkowski. The lead was regained, however, by Michael Leach, who arrived at the far right post unmarked. Sent a shot in on goal. Petrovic tried to keep it off the line, but couldn't deflect it away from goal. Despite being last touched by the Montevallo man, it was already on goal. The shot was not changed direction, so the goal will be awarded to Leach. Substitution underway. As Keller has to be helped off the field. Falcons replace with Rob McNeil, another freshman who's worked his way into this lineup. Also a twin as well, Ryan McNeil, his brother's on the team. Has gotten on the score sheet this season. So a new pair of twins at Montevallo as well. Hopefully all four of them will be healthy for Peach Belt quarterfinal play. There's a long ball over the top, and it almost falls again at the back post for Leach, who's unmarked by Klatchar. Knight. Leach trying to work. This time Klatchar closes him down, but forces a corner kick. Another dangerous opportunity for the Bearcats. 2-1 lead. Floated delivery. Two hands on it by Kuta, who punches it away. Shot was forced back in, deflected out. Skelton's effort. Another corner kick. Jamie North to deliver another ball. Doesn't beat the first man, McNeil. Falls again to North. This time delivers a lot better ball. Gonzalez wins the header. His second header clears it out, but Josh Keller can't complete the clearance. Hessenberger, though, this time, and Silkowski can run into space. Rokas touches heavy. Can he run onto it? Almost did, and he would have been through on goal with no one to close him down. But Richard Bryan did well to recover. Slide in. Flicked on to Josh Keller. Well watched. By far. But it's a corner kick for the Falcons. Needs a good delivery here as Hessenberger goes over to take. Lofty delivery. Fantastic one-handed punch by Cowdroy as it will fall out. And a long-range effort by Josh Keller, who was the top scorer last year, so you can't begrudge him a chance, even if it's from that far out. Never troubling Cowdroy, who did a very good job to read the flight of that cross and use a one-handed punch. Puria Masumi Far has had a difficult time dealing with the runners on the left side for the Falcons since coming in. Yanis Gachim has had a great day closing down. Gonzalez gets ahead of Lofts, who's been relatively quiet today by his standards. Bryan. North plays a looping ball. Morton misjudged the bounce, and he'll fall to Lofts, who tries to work it out, but good recovery by McNeil. Plays the ball down the channel for Liam Moore, almost caught him right in stride, just outside of his reach. Folger hacks the clearance out, and it'll be a throw-in. Falcons pour numbers forward as we approach the final 70 minutes. Final 20 minutes, pardon, 70th minute of the game. 2-1. Second time this game the Falcons have chased. They brought it back in the 47th minute from the spot. Patrick Morton's trademark long throw. Let's see if he can pull it back through this. Good effort by Sokowski, who tries to help it on. Liam Moore has an effort, was just falling backwards as it went high. Worth a shot. Caught hold of it okay. Always rising. Untroubled Cowdroy in goal. Undefeated Lander versus a 4-3 in the conference. Both teams are 10-3 overall. Falcons need to win this game, or at least draw if they want to host a quarterfinal match. Currently sitting 5th in the table. Header by Morton, falls to the feet of Hessenberger, who's crowded out by 3 players. Manages to get out from under his feet, but no one's open. Bryan, lovely pass with the outside of his foot into the path of Lofts. Lofts gets the better of McNeil. McNeil did fantastic to recover, but there's a foul committed. McNeil brushed him aside, but just did so illegally. Lining up a free kick. Bryan over it. Sokowski directing the players in the box, as well as Kuta almost flicks in. Went last off a Falcon head, be a corner kick. Petrovic was the man who diverted it away from Lofts. Had a couple more players arriving on the back post, including North. Substitution for the Bearcats. Man being replaced is Lofts, the striker. Connor Felstead back in the game. And just an air shot there by Garner, who hacked at it. Foul committed, dangerous play. Falcons get let off on that occasion. Garner has not been very influential since coming on. Didn't really form a partnership with Lofts, so they'll see if one can be formed between Felstead and Lofts. Gonzalez is called for the push. Folger out to North. North has overlapping runners, cuts inside of Hessenberger. Has McNeil caught in 2 minds, and Bryan wins a corner kick, or he thought he won a corner kick. It was last touched by the attacker, goes out for a goal kick. Montevallo trying to mount another comeback. Certainly have seen a response since coming back. Had a couple good efforts on goal. Hitting the top of the crossbar from a free kick, Sokowski. Probably the best effort. Morton. Petrovic. Bouncing ball that Moore almost controlled. North again gets the better of Hessenberger and cuts inside of McNeil. Helps it away. Gotcha. Far. Brisk passing. Gardner spreads it out wide. Knight forces him back. Somehow Felstead was onside, but was falling over. Ball will roll on through to Kuta. Long punt, tries to get the Falcons going offensively. Great defense by Skelton. This time Sokolski can flick it on, and Morgan will run onto it, but Folger did well to hold his ground. 16 minutes to play. 75th minute. Morton up from the back to take the long throws. The Falcons most likely will pour men forward in the final 15, if definitely not the 15, for sure the final 10 as they chase the game for a second time tonight. Low throw in from Morton. This time it almost works out. Missed clearance by Leach, who gets it away at the second attempt and is deemed to have been fouled by the retreating Morton. Cowdroy, long goal kick, misjudged by Morton. Garner spreads it out wide. Interception by Morton, who recovered well. Time is on the side of Lander, but it's certainly enough for Montevallo to mount a comeback. We've seen some very late goals this season. Certainly no time too late for Liam Moore to strike. We've seen him come up with some goals very late in the game as Lofts comes back into the game. Sam Lofts replacing Jamie North. Almost a chance here for Farr. Gets the return and an wonderful effort that is wasted. Michael Leach just caught under the ball, and it was high, wide, and not at all handsome. Fell through to him, and he had a wonderful opportunity. Just caught under it. No composure on that occasion. Dangerous attempt, however, for Lander. Alarm bells will be ringing in the Montevallo defense. Roca with a chance to run at goal. We haven't seen too much of him in the last 5 minutes. It's been well marshaled by Farr and Gatchin. Hessenberger. Challenge on Leach. Bryan plays it back to Folger. Petrovic. Flicked on by Roca. Keller plays it through. Moore will run onto it. He's onside, but just caught the bad bounce of the ball, which took it closer in the path of Bryan, who completes the clearance. Leach inside. Intercepted by Gonzalez. Falcons have numbers forward. If Gonzalez can deliver a good ball to the far post, Silkowski, it's just helped away. It'll fall for Keller, who mishits it. Might come back to Roca, who recovers it. Cuts inside a one-man. Lovely backheel flick from Keller. Comes again to Roca, whose momentum carried it into it. Didn't know too much about it, and it's a goal kick, although Gonzalez protests for a corner. For a moment there, the Lander backline was very worried. Almost found the equalizer. Coach Dieterle on his feet, knowing it is crunch time for Montevallo. Cowdroy with the goal kick. Good challenge. Klachar landed awkwardly on his back. Looked like he got a nudge from behind from Garner, but he got it cleared nonetheless. "11 minutes to go. It's just gotten a little quiet recently. Haven't seen too many chances in the last 10 minutes. And that will suit the away side, who already have a goal advantage thanks to Michael Leach. Sophomore from Wigan, England, currently has the goal that separates the sides and keeps Lander undefeated in the conference. But Montevallo could have something to say about that. Plenty of time remaining as we enter the 80th minute. A block there from Gardner, and it might fall for Felstead, but a fantastic recovery by Morton, who is fouled by the striker. The ball has just not bounced in the favor of the strikers today, as Leo Bohr and Felstead will be quick to tell you. Silkowski, flick header on. Hessenberger lines up an effort. Took a deflection, it'll be a corner kick. Went through the legs of Gatcham, who gets approval from his defense. He did well to close down the Montevallo man. Had a decent effort on goal. The deflection took it wide. Hessenberger will go out to take the corner. Falcons load the box. Roca and Gonzalez, the most obvious targets. Klachar also arrives. Petrovic, high-flighted ball, and Cowdroy gets up fantastically. Not the tallest goalkeeper, but does well to read the flight of the ball. He's done so on numerous occasions. Great punt, too. Felstead commits the second foul in quick succession, this time on Klachar, who came up to make the clearance and was just bumped. This time the ref does call it. 81st minute. Petrovic, high floated ball to Silkowski, who wins it between two men. Helped forward by Gonzalez. And Klachar had men all over him, and he stays down. Ref stops time. The junior from Subotica, Serbia, on the ground. The trainers, of course, off quickly, just as they were when Zach Keller went down. Kevin Francis prepares to come into the game. Comes in for Nikola Klachar. Increased firepower now on the field for Montevallo. Felstead just trying to maintain possession. Keep hold of the ball. Knight passes it inside. Header by Gatcham. This time goes back, and a heavy touch from Skelton almost put himself in trouble. Was alert on that occasion. Ball over the top. Cut out by McNeil. Hessenberger. Clearance up the field by Folger. McNeil again. Brought down well by North. Sends in a cross. And a foul committed in that corner. McNeil is the second player in the book. Late challenge in on North. McNeil being replaced by Klachar, who is recovered and returns to the action. Bryan over the ball. Interesting angle. He could go for goal or deliver across. Decides to go for goal, and Kuta read it well. Punches it out. Corner kick. 83rd minute. North across to take. Defensive header this time by Francis. Another corner kick. Jamie North again to take. Low delivery this time. Some half-hearted claims for a penalty kick. Cleared by Morton. Gatcham on the defense. Klatchar tries to play a ball over the top for Silkovsky to run onto. There are two men there, but Silkovsky holds them off. Folger across. Strong challenge. Gatcham, great chest control. Garner, dispossessed. Moore passes a little behind him. Allows Bryan to recover. Moore does well to gain the ball back, but Bryan recovers. Ball is cleared well over the stands. Into the final 6 minutes of the game. Long throw by Morton. Almost bounces favorably for Montevallo. No one back but Petrovic. Hooks it away. Moore brings it down. Lovely. It's dispossessed by fellow number 3, Bryan. Defensive header, but Felsted's in space, and they have a 2-on-3. Gonzalez recovering. Felsted is brought down by Klatchar. Whipped into the box, almost met by the head of Skelton. There's a push, nothing doing. Questions were asked. Morton's challenge on Felsted. Bryan hacks it clear. Morton's throw, headed away by North. Kevin Francis heads it out of bounds, but it stays in Lander possession into the final 5. Substitute for the Bearcats. Felsted, the man making way, scored the opening goal for the Bearcats. George Rose from St. Albans, England, is on the game for the final 5. Josh Keller, Gatcham wins the challenge. Rose, first touch on the ball. Spreads it out wide. Good delivery. Bryan in an unfamiliar position brings it down. It'll fall to Farr. And a far out attempt easily claimed by Kuta. Time, a real factor right now for the Falcons. Farr gets it out from under his feet. Plays North. North's touch. But Gatcham is in close attendance, making a run forward. Spread out by North. Plays it inside. Gatcham has a goal and scores a goal, and that will be that. Most likely the third goal of the game for Lander and Yannis Gatcham from Montpellier, France. It puts the nail in the coffin. It had been coming in the last 5 minutes. As Montevallo pressed space, it opened up for Lander on the counter, and as they poured men forward, Yannis Gatcham did well to pounce on a loose clearance by Petrovic. Fantastic shot. No blame attached to the goalkeeper. There was no way he could stop that. As the fans start to disperse here from Varsity Field. 87th minute goal. Falcons still fighting. Might fall for Hessenberger. Kevin Francis. In the direction of Gonzalez, but he's offside. Cowdroy to take the kick. Free kick. Rose is the man fouled. As it appears Montevallo will fall to 4-4 in the conference. Lander will move to 8-0. Folger just getting it in the corner, trying to see out the remaining minutes. North wins a corner kick off of Kevin Francis. Odd taken corner, played short. Lander players on two different pages. Falcons pressing forward with 100 seconds to go. Down 2 goals, 3-1. They pulled the first goal back. It's an opener in the 31st minute from Felstead. Montevallo leveled from the penalty spot. Silkovsky converted after Rocco won the penalty, being brought down in the box. But Leach took the lead back. And Gatcham recently added a third in the 87th minute. We're in the 89th minute. Montevallo's next conference game is at USC Aiken next weekend. Play Christian Brothers in midweek.
1 minute remaining.
Liam Moore, good step over. As men arriving in the box, plays it short to Kevin Francis. Delivers a low cross. Doesn't beat the first man, is cut out by Garner. Chest control. Allows Gonzalez to feed it back in play into the final 40 seconds. Cowdroy just wasting the rest of the time. It was not a bad performance from the Falcons. They managed to fashion several chances. A lot of them were half chances. Moved the ball around nicely. Lander just seemed to be just that little bit faster to the ball. Physical contest on both sides.
10,
Gonzalez fails to control, and another attack comes to a close as that's the end of the game. Montevallo 1, Lander 3 on senior night. The Bearcats, undefeated in the conference, come in and claim another victory. The game was changed when Giannis Gatchim came off the bench. Really transformed the first half and was a key figure in the second half, sitting in front of the defense, kept out the Falcons. Montevallo's senior night started with a 4-2 victory for the women's team, who beat the team right below them and increased their chances of making the Peach Belt quarterfinals. The men, however, fall 3-1. You've been watching Montevallo Soccer, this doubleheader from Varsity Field. I'm Alex Tejada. That's all for tonight.